Hello and welcome to Crescent Studios. Today in this video, I am going to explain about the variable length arguments function. Now, a question arises that where do we use this function? We have two straightaway applications for this function. First of all, we can use this function in a generic calculator. So at first, we do not know that how many arguments will be passed to any function that we create for arithmetic operators in a calculator. Secondly, if we want to solve a polynomial whose length is unknown to us, then again we will have to use these functions because we do not know how many arguments will be passed to a function that will be solving the polynomial. So now let's move forward to check how this function works. Here I have written a code to explain the variable length argument function. As you can see, I have defined a function which has two parameters. The first one is a simple variable, but the second one is defined with asterisk. Now this first parameter will be assigned only one argument, but to this asterisk parameter that we have defined, we can assign as many arguments to this parameter as we can. It will create a list of arguments that we pass to it. Then in function, I am printing the first parameter, then I am using a for loop on the list of parameters that is var tuple, and for each value in var tuple I am printing that to the console. Then we are using a return statement to exit the function. Now to test this function, I have called this function two times. First I have passed only one argument, and then I have passed three arguments to this function. Let's run the code and check the results. Here you can see in the console that output to the first call to this function is 5 because we have passed an integer that is 5 to this function, and in function we are printing the argument here. But the second time when we call this function, we are passing three arguments, and the first one, that is 10, will be assigned to this parameter, but the second and the third arguments that we pass will be assigned to this var tuple list. Then we have used a for loop to print these two arguments of 20 and 30, and you can see in the console that all the three arguments are printed in console when we call this function and pass the three arguments to it. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. See you in the next one.